Hello friends. So I'm just re-recording from this afternoon's Zoom call, a little introduction to the storytelling guide, which is now live. We had some technical issues, which if you were there for, I hope you enjoyed. Um, and if not, then here you'll find a little overview of what to expect in this resource that I created with Laramie Main Street, Albany County Tourism Board, and Laramie Chamber Business Alliance. Super excited to bring this to you, and I was super bummed that our Zoom call got troll hacked. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think, how you guys are going to use this, and I really hope you enjoy it. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or any issues moving forward. And I'm going to go ahead and jump on over to that presentation. So if we haven't met, my name is Jessica. I'm sorry that you can't see me, at least I think you can't see me. If you can, that'll be a surprise to both of us. I'm trying this on Facebook Live as to avoid what we just endured on Zoom. I previously worked with Laramie Main Street Alliance. I've been a small business owner and overall just a lover of business, small business, a lover of Laramie. And I've served in a variety of different roles, all of those which have somehow been connected by this love for storytelling that has been with me since I was a kid, really. I always wanted to be a writer, and then I ended up running a bakery, and then I started doing marketing for Main Streets. So here I am. And what happened was Laramie Main Street, Albany County Tourism Board, or Visit Laramie is maybe how you know them, and the Alliance, or Laramie Chamber Business Alliance, they all got together in the wake of this COVID-19 circumstance that we're all in right now, and decided they wanted to create some resources for the businesses. And one of those resources that they wanted was something that encouraged them to tell their story, to put their name out there, to put their face out there, to put their history back there, and allow us all to continue to connect and support each other from our homes in whatever ways we can. So with that, I created the Power of Storytelling for Your Business guide, which is about a 12-page guide that has some information, some worksheets, some prompts, just to kind of nudge you through telling the story for your business or the business that you are doing the marketing for. And along with that is a video series. There's 8 videos there that kind of dive in step by step. A little bit further, offering some examples if video is more your jam. And since the goal of this is to tell you all to get on camera and to tell your story about your business, then I have to put my face out there and do the same. So that is exactly what I did. Putting my face out there 8 times and telling you how to go about using your story in this time. So I love this quote from Margaret Atwood: "A word after a word after a word is power." The truth is, stories exist in so many facets of our lives, throughout humanity, throughout history. We have had stories carved into stones, stories told among religious groups, stories passed down from families, stories told in movies, novels, podcasts, or just stories told among friends. And all of those have a very specific power, whether that's to entertain, to influence, to start a movement, to create motion in some direction. Every time something big in history has happened, it has been with the support of a strong story that connects, rallies, really just gets people all on the same page. And that same power is true when it comes to telling the stories of our businesses. Why did we start? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why is it important to support us? How can you do that? And that's precisely why we created this resource for the businesses right now. So a lot of the tools that you're going to find in this guide are pretty dang simple, and you're probably going to recognize a lot of them from your elementary days or junior high days, those learning to write a story, kind of that era of life. But the truth is, that there is a narrative arc that nearly every story we consume follows. And maybe that story is a movie, maybe it's a fairy tale, maybe it's a novel, maybe it's just the way you tell the story with your friends about your last vacation or that wild night you had. It all is going to follow a very similar structure that looks something like this. So as we start out, we start to create an introduction. We meet these characters in the setting. Who are they? Where are they? What does their life look like? And then in this rising action, we learn a little bit more about what their life looks like and maybe what problems are around. And then we get to the peak, which is the conflict. You know, in a fairy tale, this would be when the really bad thing happens, when the evil witch comes or the dragon or what, you know, whatever. Something that is a conflict, something dramatic. We peak here. And then from there, we go into the falling action, working towards the resolution, which is that knight in shining armor, whoever creates the end, the ending, hopefully the happily ever after. And in this case, when we're talking about your business is always the resolution. You are always the knight in shining armor. And the conflict is always the problem or the issue that your business is creating an answer for. So maybe in a fairy tale, this conflict looks much different, much more dramatic, much more, I don't know, blood and guts kind of conflicty. But in your world, maybe the conflict you're addressing is you own a restaurant that provides a cuisine that isn't available anywhere else in town. Or maybe you provide a service that isn't available. Or maybe you provide a product that really helps solve a problem that your audience really just needs a solution to. It makes their life easier. It's going to follow the same structure, and that conflict and that resolution, the relationship you have with providing a solution with your customers is where that power in the storytelling really comes from. So think back to the customer you started your business to serve, their unique setting and their conflict in their lives that you were looking to provide a solution for. All of this is going to be more powerful if you connect to that time when you started your business, when you decided, I want to do this thing because of X, Y, and Z. That why, that thing that makes your heart beat, that thing that makes you stay up at night, that makes you work hard, and the thing that you sketched notes about on napkins in restaurants with your friends. That is the why, and that's the part you want to access when you go to tell your story, because that's the guts of it. That's the narrative that we want to hear. That's where we connect to you and what you're offering. So going back to that idea of kind of like elementary education, something that is important to hold on to, and it's probably something you learned in those 5-paragraph essays or anytime you had to write anything informative or persuasive or anything like that, was the 5 H's, the 5 W's and 1 H. So who, what, when, where, why, and then how. So your who is going to be your characters, your where, your what. I mean, that's going to be the setting. The why is going to be that thing that keeps you up at night. The reason why you do your work. That's that we talked about. That solution that you're providing. And the how is kind of going to be how you're getting that to your customers. It's going to look a little different. That'd be in your call to action. You know, is it getting people to buy something? Is it getting them to rally around a mission? Getting them to submit information somewhere, or to show up somewhere, or to call a phone number? It's going to look different based on what it is you're trying to get them to do. But just making sure that whatever messaging you're creating, whether it's a social media post or a video, a 5-paragraph essay, that you are addressing these topics, that all of these are crystal clear. So the story is going to allow you to create connections with your audience. That business to audience connection is what creates a loyal following, a loyal customer base, and makes you connect to new customers who are in alignment with what it is you're doing. If you think about the brands that you really love, the brands that you show up for again and again for, they have a new product that comes out and you're one of the first ones at the door to buy it. chances are somewhere along the lines you have discovered that your values align with each other, that your guys' lives look similar somehow. And that you come to that conclusion because of storytelling, because they've told a story that resonates with you. So this story that you're going to create is going to allow you to answer questions like, what inspired you to start your business? What do you love about the business that you're in? What does your community mean to you? These are all big questions which were very prevalent when you started your business and were very prevalent months ago, but are even more prevalent now because we're all in this time where things are hard, things are unusual, things are uncomfortable, and we're trying to connect to one another and to support one another, and this connection to the businesses that we love is really, it's important, it's really valuable. It's not only valuable for the economy, but it's good for just our mental health, for our wellness, to know that the businesses we love and the people who make them up, that they're out there and they're fighting the good fight. They're doing what they can in the same way that we can, and they're showing up for us. That's why right now the storytelling is just so important. So what you'll find in the guide is some checklists for recording your video, stuff to use for your audio and video, help writing your script, things to help you determine your voice, to figure out who your ideal customer is, who it is that you're speaking to, some worksheets and some information. Nothing that's super overwhelming. I think it's all relatively simple because we want this to be simple. What we want is for you to get your story out there. And the thing I really want you to hold on to is this concept that people connect to people. And this is true. I preach this all the time, but it's even more important right now because most of us right now are connecting with whoever's in our home with us, and everyone else is just on a screen, much like we were on Zoom, which worked in its own special way. Or like how we are now. You're listening to me talk and we're connecting even though we're not in the same room together. It's really important to put your face out there. And I think especially for business owners, there's a certain level of modesty. You know, I don't want to put my face out there. I'm camera shy. I don't speak very well. I'm not a great writer. I'd rather just put my head down and do the work. I'd rather be behind the scenes. And I get that. I'm the exact same way. I do not like putting my face out there. It's because it's vulnerable. And if you're on the Zoom call with me, you really understand how it can feel vulnerable when that's, goes awry. However, I think right now we need to see those familiar faces. We need to hear the stories because I can guarantee you this. I don't know, who's listening to this and what business you're representing, but I do know that you have a really good story that came from a really good place and people want to hear it. The community wants to hear it. I want to hear it. Your customers want to hear it. And putting your face out there is going to solidify that connection between you and your customer, you and your community, and they're going to show up for you however you ask them to, if that's with their wallet, if they can, or if that's by sharing your message or doing whatever it is they can do. I understand right now resources are limited for many folks and even just time and energy is limited. However, we all recognize that there is an opportunity, a necessity rather, for us to show up and support the people, the businesses, the community that we love. And that is what people are doing, hands down. And in order to capitalize on that, not in a skeezy way, in a just allowing yourself to be supported in the same way that you are supporting others, because I'm sure you are, whether it's your employees, your family, your neighborhood, whoever, allowing yourself to be supported can happen by putting your face out there and telling them exactly what you need. So I want to make sure you hear this part. This is important. So I mentioned that the Laramie Chamber Business Alliance, Albany County Tourism Board, and Laramie Main Street all came together to bring you this resource for free, and they wanted to go above and beyond and create more help for you. So all of the stories that you make using this guide, they will share across their digital platforms as well as on local radio ads at no charge to you. which is a really sweet deal. Advertising is something that I think a lot of folks aren't spending money on right now, and I don't blame them. However, I think messaging is hugely important, and so these partners recognize that. That's why we're all here right now. And so this is a great opportunity that I truly hope you take advantage of and give these guys a little love for offering this for you, because it is very generous and hopefully an incentive for you to stick your face out there. So you can find these resources, including the workbook and the video series, at laramie.org/storytelling. You can also find it at laramie.mainstreet.org/storytelling. And there will be links for you to download and access all of these. So I sincerely hope that this resource is valuable to you. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope it's not homework to you necessarily. I hope it's enjoyable. And I really look forward to seeing what comes of it. So please, please, please feel free to shoot me any messages with questions if you get stuck, if you want to share something. I am here as a resource. I want to continue to support you. I would love if you'd share this with your neighbors, your friends, your business owners, locally or beyond. Honestly, I want to see everyone supported right now. And don't hesitate to reach out to let me know if there's anything else I can do to support you. Again, if you were on the previous Zoom call, thank you for sticking with me. That was weird. I hope to never do that again. Yes, I appreciate you all so, so much. Happy Monday.